you, sir. You're right. How's it going? How are you guys doing today? What's going on with you guys, and how are your just reactions to the recent chapters and things that have come out? I think everything's looking pretty fair. At least from what I can tell, it looks like the Gajeel spotlight will happen. I would really appreciate it to happen. And if Gajeel, I've only talked to one person that for some reason wants Gajeel to lose. But there's always the possibility that he could lose. I'm pretty sure he's gonna win. Because if Gajeel lost to God Serena, I'd be so bummed out. Because it'd be such an interesting thing for Mishima. It'd be so weird at the same time to set up some form of lose and then get revenge, return kind of fight with Gajeel and God Serena. Just because it's why have a rivalry between them? It'd just be really weird. Or I feel like Gajeel is gonna overcome on this one. I don't think this is a fight where it's designated for something where he's gonna lose, because if Gajeel lost, he's not a character that it's he just loses and then that's the end of that plot line. He would want to eventually fight back. So I don't think so. Streams later than usual. Yeah, I was doing stuff. What's going on you though? Did you get everything read so far this week? Because we got what now? We get the Shonen Jump spoilers coming out, and for at least from what I can tell, everything except for My Hero looks like people are having a pretty good time with this week. Just read the recent Black Clover, and man, actually wrote about Sister Lily's evil. I was never really on board with the Sister Lily is evil, but I was always on the line of if she is evil, there has to be a really weird explanation for it, because it couldn't just be I didn't think it could have just been she was a bad guy and she was undercover. It had to be something really weird where it's okay, yeah, Lucius just ends up pretty much manipulating her himself. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, but not really evil. Can't imagine him losing. The thing is, I say Gajeel getting beat up. I don't think he's gonna lose, because Gajeel just needs, I think, some strong motivation, because he hasn't had anything really in a long time. I think he'll be fine. I'm really looking forward to it, though. I really want to see a cool fight for Gajeel. Let me see One Piece spoilers. For the most part, I don't think there's anything really in the chapter that I was really intrigued with. The bounties were just interesting for finding out specifics, but I don't think there was anything in there that made me really that intrigued of what was gonna happen. Not that it was a bad thing, but it's I can't think of anything that was really kind of crazy. I like the Jinbei's bounty. I thought that was kind of funny, him and Sanji, because Sanji just seems to be forming a beef with Jinbei for no reason. Lucius Feet's incoming dog walk the whole underworld. Yeah, so I'm very curious as how that all worked. I wish we could see some of it, maybe some flashbacks. Did he just gauntlet style it, or did he pretty much just kind of power rush through, try and get to the bottom as fast as he can, and just kind of one shot people as they collected, and then got there? Because I would imagine that once we saw him eating the heart, that was him essentially getting to the end, because it would make sense he pretty much locked and shackled the last boss, so the last boss couldn't even fight him. Because what it's he could take everybody in the underworld except for Lucifaro, so he has this way to pretty much trap him at 50%. I didn't read My Hero. What's happening? Well, it's because Bakugo got hurt, and then it seemed like he was gonna die, and then it's clear that he's not gonna die. And people are really surprised, oh my gosh, they can't believe Horikoshi. It's how are you? For one, you shouldn't be surprised. That wasn't the thing. It's the question wasn't, is he gonna live or die? I would have been very surprised if Bakugo died, but it was more how is he gonna survive, and what is the payout of him surviving? It's just because the reason that it's extra funny is because My Hero fans, for some reason, wrote at night and midnight dying, and decided to go after other fandoms that didn't have deaths recently. There was something I like about it, and everything about Crocodile. I mean, I like Crocodile, but I don't think there's anything I don't think there's anything really expanding on Crocodile. We just got a bounty and stuff for him. Because the characters in One Piece that I really like Crocodile, Perona, Blackbeard, people like that, I want to see them. I want to see them do stuff. But we ended up getting sidetracked at like talking about just general bounties. I think the interactions will be fun though when the chapter comes out, because I know there's a lot of like stuff back and forth between Crocodile, Mihawk, and Buggy, and like I don't really care too much from the tech spoiler version, but I think seeing it on the pages, I think it'll be more entertaining. I think it'll have a much better kind of general layout once I see it that way. One second, I'm gonna send a message to somebody real fast. Let's see, God's Trainer versus Gajeel looks like looked like Lex versus Karen. Well, not necessarily, kind of. I think this is a little bit more aggressive, but the difference there is like Karen could just overpower Lax's, whereas God Serena's fighting style is he's waiting and countering. He's waiting for Gajeel to do something, and then he's countering him and then doing damage. Like when he did his flash move, it was a perfect example that he countered a shadow ability and then went while he was open and attacked him. What's up, Crystal Sanders? How are you doing today? I'm fine with current My Hero arc. The thing about the My Hero arc is I'm not mad at it. It's just like I feel like things are like weirdly placed in the timeline of like how things are going. Because like I feel like for a final arc, it's already really far in for like not a lot of stuff that's happened, and then Dabi comes back and it's just really weird. It's like, well, what's the plan with this character then? Is Todoroki gonna fight and kill him again? Reminds you of Bleach Outrage? I don't even remember what part exactly you're talking about. It was just an idea of religion, and sister religious believes in it. It's not really religion. It's more like it's just kind of like a large scale like philosophical thing that he's trying to push. But I think that Lucius is doing actually pretty fine. I think that his whole setup will be okay. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Ask me a couple questions. If you guys got any versus stuff or any matches or anything, just ask me. I'm just gonna go grab a drink real fast. She's 1 month pregnant. I think it's been longer than that, hasn't it? Haven't like the main cast been on the 100 Years quest for longer than a month? Because like I think it was, I can't remember the exact time of like movement. There wasn't like a week or something just by itself that they went from Ermina to Drasil. I have to go through some chapters to look for some timestamps, but I remember there were some decent timestamps. Like how long was it after just, for example, like kind of resting after Drasil? How long was that? Let me see. How long does it say? I know there's a date. Because, like, that chapter, I know there's a date on that one, and then after yeah, 3 days there, so that's at least 3 days. And then, like, that's not even counting travel stuff, but I know, like, that, and then after not to beat Mersophobia, there was a very, like, another specific date of time that, like, had passed. So, let me see. Let me see. It's in there somewhere. It's not, like, a long time, but I think it's, like, another, like, 3 or 4 days or something. Some couple of days there. I know that those are in there. Hope you guys can't hear stuff in the background, but we'll see. Sisterly evil? It's not evil, it's sisterly mind controlled. Natsu's the entire Fire Force verse. Well, I don't think Natsu can take the whole verse, because like, for instance, Natsu has ways of defeating God Shinra, but Shinra could literally just make a vehicle under Natsu, and then Natsu would just be incapacitated immediately. Because that's one of those things, like, he can hard counter, like, characters who can just create stuff, and then on top of that, like, Natsu has to, it's like an all-in thing for him, but, like, he has to get direct contact, whereas, like, can't someone like Shinra just make stuff, like, from range. I don't think there's anything, like, he has to make direct contact. I think most of the characters he's fine, but I don't think he can clear yet. Like, if we're talking about, like, if you said specifically the Natsu that fought Mersophobia, I think he just blitzes everybody. I mean, he can win. It's just one of those things you'd have to go down to, like, feats and stuff for speed. I don't really want to go into that. I don't know Fire Force enough for speed-wise. Anyone is trying to do Mashal? I thought Studio David was doing Mashal. Can't hear background music? Good. The amount of people saying she's evil is ridiculous. It's because they're kind of like, they're kind of just speaking more broadly. What if Gajeel got type of diamond magic? I don't know if it makes sense. I think that would be cool, but I'd like him to stick with metal. If eating, say, like, eating diamond, if eating diamond gave him something like it combined, kind of like, you know, how, like, the carbon combined with his iron to make steel, and I don't know if that's actually, like, how it works. I doubt it, because I know platinum's a metal by itself, but it's, like, because of, like, the way that magic works. It's like he eats diamond that makes him platinum or something. Or orichalcum or some, like, special material. Hold on a second. I got something dropped off at my door. Yeah, ask me a couple questions. I'll jump over the questions when I come back. Okay, you guys are gonna have to be kind to me. I made a very, very bad tactical move, and I ordered food right when I was getting set up to stream without thinking about it. So I gotta cycle between eating and talking. We just really pulled up, gave Asta the hands, and dipped. I would have really liked to see him fight for a little bit without resorting to, like, you know, a smart tactic, but, like, I wanted to see him actually just do stuff. I would have really liked to, like, I don't need a full fight, but I would have really liked to see him just, like, all the captains show up, one chapter of them trying to fight him, they can't accomplish anything, then he leaves. I would have really liked that. Some people are thinking Gildarts comes in. I would love it if Gildarts shows up. What are they called? The Signario Sisters? Forgot the names. I wonder what they'll be like. Yeah, the Signario Sisters are like the top. They're like the guild ace of Gold Owl, and then their guild master is somebody we don't even know the name of. It's probably gonna end up being Viernez or somebody connected to Viernez. Just assuming, because I feel like that just makes sense. I was so excited when the fan translations, like when, well, in the spoiler text when it was estimating, oh, it's, you know, it's, what's his name? It's fucking God Serene using gold dragon slaying magic. And I was like, oh shit, gold is perfect now. I was like, oh no, it's diamond. It was just a mistranslation. I would have loved it. It would have been just a fast track to pretty much proving the Viernez connection. But I feel like it would also mean that God's Serene would have to be a little bit more important. If say God Serena has some alchemy ability that maybe changes his dragon types, wouldn't it be really cool? But say he has something like that or changes it to gold, or he somehow has just gold, and it ends up being true, like the connections to Gold Owl, or sorry, to Viernez from Gold Owl. I'm really, really hoping that Mishima, at that point, decides to make God's Serena more important. Because if he's using gold dragon slang magic from a guild that is connected to a gold dragon, like obviously he's a gold dragon god, but at the core it's the gold dragon. Like that'd be weird. Like he should be. Like you gotta let your guy be, you know, actually able to represent. Diamond, it's more like Diamond's cool, but like the gold had obviously stuff that would connect points in the story that was really, really interesting. And obviously, Viernez is a big question mark right now. People are saying it doesn't make sense that someone was there to save God's trainer. All the things we just don't those are things we don't know yet. And with God Serena being alive, I don't know if some people are mad. It's like, oh, he retconned him, he's alive now. It's like, for one, who cares if God Serena's alive? There's zero character development or story progression or anything that is lost from him being alive. Literally nothing. There's no character that gained anything from him losing. It's literally just a kill count for Acnologi, who's already got, you know, the entire dragon race for the most part under his belt. The only thing I want to know is who did it and what was their reasoning for being in the area. Were they just there, or was it they were after something, they were spying on Acnologi or something, and that's the result? That's what I want to know. No, I paused my mic because I said that I was I got food, so I mute it really fast, so that way I can eat and talk pretty much in a line. Obviously, I don't want to curse you guys having to hear me eating. I don't think anybody wants that. I would hope at least. I don't know. No, it's not provided. My Hero fans are about to attack Horikoshi. Not the Bakugo fans. They're probably pretty happy. Here's the thing. Bakugo's gonna get up with some form of advanced level of quirk, some super boost. He's gonna be more powerful than he's ever been before. And the My Hero fans will be so happy. They're gonna be calling it 10 out of 10. Peak fiction. They're gonna be over the moon, loving life. It's all it's gonna take. I've seen this before. I know how these work. I've been in this game for a long time. Here's the thing, and I actually mean that. Like when I say like I've been reading, on the weekly Shonen consecutively since it was Hungry Joker and Barrage instead of My Hero and Black Clover. I know how these guys are doing things. People just gotta be patient. Anybody, and especially people who's been in like reading shonen manga for this long, it's like, he's not gonna die. This is set up for him to get some really cool breakthrough character moment and like get to do something really badass. That's what I want to. I forgot to meet her that time. Okay, I wasn't chilling. I don't need that. An artificial body buff with dragon lock mouth. I'm really hoping that Viernes is like an alchemist dragon. You don't give a F about My Hero? See, I don't love My Hero. I have a degree of stake in My Hero because I was reading Horikoshi when he was making Barrage. I actually read My Hero Chapter 1 when it came out. And I've been reading it weekly since it came out. I'm just not a huge fan of it. That's one of the things about it. It's like, the only people that like I would really even care for like My Hero like takes are like heavy stands, because I know they're passionate about it, so they probably know a lot of shit that I don't know. Whereas like your average person, I was already reading it. He's just gonna. I mean, not Ashizura. That's like a shonen thing. And it's just like it just needs to be. It just needs to make sense how he gets revived, and for his return scene to be cool. How many magic types do I think Lucius has? I would assume he's got all the tree devils that are alive, because he's got, like he said, he went through them. So, like, unless they're directly, like, they just submitted and they're working with him, I imagine he absorbed their power. And he plans to give them out to the Archangel, or so I guess the Paladins. People are calling them Archangels. But official, it seems to be Paladin. Deku started crying because he's quirkless, and now it's 7 of them. The 7 quirks is one thing about My Hero I really do wish was changed. I didn't like that plot point. How and when do you counter something like laughing gas? Well, she has magic that can neutralize status effects. So it would just counteract something that is foreign to your body and is creating a foreign effect. And she's done it with things from plants and spores. So it's within her capability. Like Wendy is just a really good support. She's one of the best supports to have in the series. The only person I would say that is I would say the only support better, and it's not really just him, but it's really just anybody directly with skill with it, it's Hibiki. Because Hibiki can literally just download spells into people's heads for situations that would be good for it. Because like somebody with Archive literally has the internet pretty much of magic at their disposal and can directly like download information into somebody's brain like the fucking Matrix. What's going on, Kinmano? Do you like the new Frost badge? I think the Frost badge is much nicer. I'm trying to think of what to put for the next tier. I haven't decided yet. But I thought the Frost one was a good kind of starting one. Well, I guess it's like, what, tier 2? or whatever. Second, I guess, because it's time based. Prime Ultir with Prep versus Kagura. Oh, I think if you go Grand Magic Games and you say Kagura versus Ultir, I think Ultir claps. Because Kagura was in that, not like, she was in like the upper levels of the bottom for Wizard Saint level in Grand Magic Games. But there's no way that if you put Ultir against Jura, I think Ultir would have been able to fight Jura just fine. And just the same thing as Future Rogue seemed to he knew that she was a threat and got out of the way. Like, she's powerful, she has a broken magic, and she's a skilled fighter. And she's super smart. And she's fucking deadly, like she will kill you. I didn't add a tier yet, Kanamano. I'm not gonna add any more money, any more kind of optional tiers, unless I have something to trade off. There's some stuff that I have an idea for, but we'll see when it goes into effect. I just added more badges. It's the time tier, so it's the longer you're a member on the channel, you gain a different badge. Who's here, Wendy, Human Carla, or Mavis? Oh, probably Mavis. Where do you think Asta was sent to? Oh, I think Asta was sent to the Underworld. Wendy is an awesome character. What do you think she got Dragon Force the first time I was fangirling so hard? I'm a huge fan of that fight. I remember when it happened. It was super amazing. And it's just those nice gradual chunks of time where Wendy was getting more capable, more able to hold her own, fight for the guild, and then she just has a part where she just really needs to get a hold of herself and just fucking go ape shit, and she did. It was so nice. That was a good week. Am I gonna join Josuke's stream this week? Probably. I mean, I don't know if he's streaming this week though. I know Josuke's been busy with work lately. We'll see. Was Gina starting a new series? Do you want him to start under the Battle Shonen? Yeah, he's gonna do another type of Battle Shonen. It's the style. I want to know what he's gonna do for style-wise. I would like him to do something with... What would be really cool? I know he said he was thinking about doing something medieval. I would kind of like to see something Mishima go even further back and go kind of more ancient. Like ancient Egypt, or maybe something kind of trying to do something dinosaur themed that actually be really cool. And that way he can kind of get his almost dragon fix in. Rachel's probably your favorite cast in Shonen. I would agree. It's mine too. Isn't Mishima a big fan of boxing anime? I know he likes Hajime no Ippo, but I don't know if it's because he's a big fan of boxing, or because he's friends with the creator. I know he really likes the creator, so I'm guessing he's a fan of the manga itself at least. What happens if Ultir didn't sacrifice herself? What would happen in the next arc? I don't really know what would be different in Tartaros. And then I think the Demaria fight would be much easier with Ultir involved. Why is Shiki a bad boy trying to end humanity? Well, we don't know exactly the whole stuff about Mother yet. The only thing I was really surprised about is Shiki doesn't go, Ziggy doesn't go as deep in the lore as I thought. He doesn't go nearly as deep in the lore. Because his point of existence is made in the timeline starting from the Aoi Cosmos arc. It would be nice if they did a game like Manga, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon. That'd be really cool. Also, how much do I have to bribe you to get a villain tier list? I mean, villains in general. Kenmano, you have shown that your levels are crazy. You put as much as you want to put in there. If you want to do a super chat request, and I will plan out a villain tier list stream, and we'll do a poll or I'll do a post and I'll say submit villains, or we'll just do it in the video too, or I'll do both, and we'll put them on there, and then we'll gather it up and we'll do a stream at some point, maybe next week. I leave this in your hands to make a decision of how much you want to put in one of your bribes. You know I can't decline gifts. I won't. You know what was a what is it like? Well, I don't require them, but I won't deny them. Can Sister Lily clap Xenon? It depends. It's because it's gonna be like, is she just better at one thing with it, or is she just better at spatial magic in general? Or is she just crazier? I don't know. The Japanese studios hate Mishima. Rave didn't get a proper anime fairy tale. It's right. No. So a lot of fairy tales anime is actually really good. It's just like Alvarez didn't have the best anime a lot of times. Grand Magic Games was good for the most part. Tartaros was actually really good. If you go rewatch Tartaros and you put it in HD, it looks actually really good. Like, no shot. Like, for real. Like, it actually looks really good. I won't deny that. Like, with Grand Magic Games, some of the parts look really chunky. Like, one of the parts that always comes to mind is when Elfman is fighting Bacchus. And it's at the end when he's defending, and they just have Bacchus, like, spinning like a Beyblade instead of actually doing any fighting techniques. And I was always so weirded out by that. I was like, why did they do that? Would Aaron be a villain? Aaron, yeah, because like I think Aaron made some bad decisions, and I think that's one thing that would put him more of like a villain, because his weren't heroic. None of his actions and none of his conclusions were heroic. Your favorites are Zareth, Griffith, and the Major. If I had to pick three, mine would probably be Zareth, Griffith, and then in manga, and then probably maybe like Sato from Ajin, or I mean, think who else is somebody I really like. I think that'd probably be one of my picks, at least for manga, like off the top of my head. And then like in general villains, like one of my favorite like general villains is just like the Joker, because I like that he's just a pure villain. Like he's not somebody you should really like unless you just like the style, but he's just a pure evil bad guy piece of shit. And that's one of the things I like about Zero. Zero is just a bad guy. Like, you can like just a character who's a bad guy. If they're made to be a villain and you don't like them because they're a villain, and you don't like the villain things they do, they're getting an A in their job. They're doing Chainsaw Man? Not yet. I still gotta read it. I forgot. Have I read Poon Poon? No. If you tell my friend, he's gonna try and remind me. But I haven't read it yet. It's on my list. I read most of Vagabond, and then I got really I got really demotivated when the manga pretty much went on permanent hiatus. I'm caught up. Well, no, I'm like 2 chapters behind on Berserk. I love Berserk. And then Monster is just on my list. I haven't got to it yet. I wish they'd remake Rave Master for a proper anime. Me too. I think it'd be great. I'd be a big fan of a Rave Master remake. This isn't an anime, but I think I like Dracula from Castlevania on Netflix. That's close to almost anime. Poon Poon is pink depression. I've heard that too. Mosa needs to learn how to fly. I mean, she's a plant person. Like, she's not normally gonna be able to fly unless she gets like a cool dandelion like chair that floats with the wind, I guess. Let me see. Did I miss any comments? I'm scrolling up to see if I missed any comments. Yeah, Josuke hasn't called or anything yet, so I don't know if he's streaming. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything. Let's scroll back down. Fingers crossed. God Serena has a dragon secret art like Hado 99. I'm hoping that he's gonna have, this is like his normal wizardry stuff, and then he's gonna have a trump card with alchemy. Or he can combine them together. Like, imagine he combines his cavern dragon slaying magic with his, his. I mean, we know it's like what hellfire, whatever, purgatory. Like combines them and makes a lava dragon. Combines air and water makes ice. Combines maybe earth and water and creates a wood or like mud or something. Like starts combining all his powers and maybe combines them all into one and creates like an Ethereon attack. I don't know. I spent $500 on getting all Rave Master. That's pretty hype. But it's nice to look at though too. Rave Master needs released in America. I hope so. Or I'd love that though in general, but it's gonna be a long time. Zeref wanted to die. How is he a good villain? Acting like he wanted destruction. Man, you need to go reread some. You need to go reread some stuff, my guy. Awareness related to Gajeel somehow. I don't know about related to Gajeel. Men's God's trying to take Gajeel back to the guild and train him. It'd be really interesting if there was some reason he wanted to take Gajeel, but it's like I don't know if they'll be related. I could see that it's not Gajeel, but I could definitely see that Viernes and Metallicana are related, and maybe he knows of him. He knows of Gajeel, and he's like, oh, this is the boy that my brother picked up. I could see something like that happening. Because we know that the dragons, when they're born, they don't really meet their fathers, but they clearly can have some close relationship, like obviously Ignia and Viernes. Not Viernes, sorry, Dogremag. Why are you guys naming all the villain people? Like, Kenmano is the one planning this. Like, if he wants to, if he's got this planned out, it's not going to be in this stream chat. We will do it in like in a comment box, or not comment box. I guess a comment post, I guess, for a community post, or whatever, and then get it all set up over there. We haven't even decided a date yet, because that's one of those things I've been like, yeah, sure. I just don't really have a general idea for it. A date and time. No one exists in the space between time. Yeah, nothing's supposed to be able to exist in there. It's when Act and Logan Absorb, he took control of it and then made stuff in there. I want to see a humanoid Igneal. I think that would be really cool. Like, I would love cool what-if stuff in the verse. I want to see Hero do a Record of Ragnarok type series. I don't know. I don't think you can directly just do another Record of Ragnarok type series. I don't want series to really just copy a Record of Ragnarok. Like, I want Mishima just to do something really generally fun for him. I think it'd be cool if he tried to just combine a bunch of different mythologies into one. And say like he did that Knight series, but it's like knights of different areas. And you have one area that's very Nordic, so they have Nordic themed, and like that's how all the characters there are like voiced and dressed. And then you have one that's like Roman and stuff. You have one that's like Egyptian. Something like that, where it's like it's very clear in like the set locations of theme, but it still gives him a level of uniqueness and like creativity that he can do stuff with. And he doesn't have to do it as like old style. He could literally do one themed off America or Canada or something if he really wanted to. Is Lucy's family a matriarchy? Her family goes back with the surname Hartfilia, and Jude took the last name. I don't know. The thing is, like, we only know the one set, but maybe it's one of the things he just didn't care, or maybe the Hartfilia name just has a level of value to it more so than whatever Jude's other name. Like, it's one of those things where he thought he could get further with her last name than his own in the business world, which I think would make a lot of sense. If the Hartfilias are at least a known name, because they're a bloodline that have been around for so long, multiple generations within a given area. I mean, that just makes a lot of sense, especially from a business standpoint. We don't know though. Like, it's never something gone too much into detail. Machine already good. What are you talking about? His art. He got his art down themes, and easy proving he got his plot down. Mishima's always been like this. The only thing is, like, his art is just improving. You need to reread, like, go through his actual manga. The thing is, like, people don't know. It's like when people say, like, oh, Eden Zero's really dark. The level of dark things that Mishima does in Eden Zero, he did in Fairy Tail and he did in Rave Master. It's the people that say that only watch the Fairy Tail anime, so they don't know, like, how brutal some of the parts can be. Mishima's always been like this. He just doesn't like to go, like, crazy dark. Lucy, Gajeel, and Lactus, I would argue, well-written characters. Lucy, Gajeel, and Lactus are all great. I think, Gajeel especially. Oh, Kanmano. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me finish what I was saying. Gajeel, I think especially, like, just, like, looking at the, like, large jump that he has. Like, him and Laxus both had a similar-ish starting point of redemption and kind of character, kind of just, like, character turnaround. But Gajeel's just made, I think, further personal progress. Obviously now with, like, getting about, like, he's about to be a dad and stuff. Imagine if Uranus turns people into gold. I mean, that'd be pretty cool. What, like, but I mean, as, like, an alchemist. Like, alchemy at a broken level. Like, you'd just be able to transmute shit around you at any point.
You just busted a nut.
Because it's like, think about, like, if you were an alchemist of that level, like, everything around you, you can turn into anything you want to. So at that point, it's really just how broken can you really be? I'm requesting Ashura Soul Eater, Lucia, Madara, Esteth, Yoabok, Supreme Deity, the Demon King, King, How's a good one, Aizen Eknogia, I like those, Tachi. That's pretty cool. Sinbad. I gotta finish Magi for Sinbad, so maybe we'll have to see about Sinbad. Let you know if there's more to come. You know, we don't go crazy. You gotta get a new, crazy enough to get a new computer. No, it'll be okay. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat, man. I very much appreciate it. Let me see. I think Josuke tried to call me though. Let me see about him, because I might jump over into his stream. We might go chat over there. We might try and migrate everybody over there and see what they're doing. Imagine his fearness as crazy all those OCD kills people for having crooked ties. I think he'll be, like, if he's not an alchemist, like, he's not done as, like, a character who's, like, some smart scientist-ish, like, design, maybe, you know, something kind of like a Kisuke-ish character, then I'm going to be really surprised. Like, the only other thing I can think of that I think would line up with the witness we've been given, if he is, like, he's just crazy paranoid and he just kind of hides out and he doesn't let people find him and he just kind of keeps to himself and is creepy like that. He you know, he's just a paranoid schizophrenic dude. Oh, it's just Ryusei's just mad. I'm not gonna humor too much of it. I've gotten into too many of these. It sent me Lucy's gonna be last Heartphilia. Yeah, I don't think Natsu's gonna take her name. Well, the thing is, I think that would make sense, though, because the Heartphilia job is done. They don't need to be doing that stuff anymore. Ankh-Sara, like, Ankh-Sara is going to be saying, like, I feel like if Mishima wants to do, like, another movie, Ankh-Sara would be a logical kind of direction. But I don't want it to be a movie because if ever I can actually see him, I want him to have a lot of really cool aspects to his character. Like, I want to see a lot of him and really get to know this guy, because this will be, like, logically the strongest character in the verse unless you jump into Mashimir from Heroes. Like, that's the only person you could really get to after that. Okay. Let me see. Did Josuke already start streaming? If he's already started, we can migrate over there. And we can just go chit-chat with him and see what's going on. Let's, let me go see if his stuff is set up. Hold on. I don't think his is. I know he changed his his video his channel name recently. Okay, there it is. I was trying to figure out where the fuck it was. Okay, he hasn't started yet, so we'll see. Because I know a lot of people want to talk about like what the hell is going on with Asta. Gajeel got packed, but like where Asta, this is like directing for an arc is obviously extremely interesting for Black Clover. Oh, Anksaram and who? Sinbad? Well, I mean, like, we don't know anything about Anksaram, like, any of his really abilities. Versus Battlewiki is really inaccurate. How would you personally rank Natsu, Lucy, Urza, Lucy, Gray on the scale? Well, Natsu is, like, sitting at large planet level, like, comfortably now. He's, like, sitting at that, like, human Selene levels. Urza has that with only her Fairy Meteor Sword, none of her other abilities. The rest, she's, like, multi-continental, and that's pretty much where Gray and Lucy are, too. Angsram, mid. I mean, we don't know anything about him. I don't know. He will get redeemed. I don't know why you say he's gonna get redeemed when it's like, and then you say like he'll get a fake death, fake out death. That's like Aknologia and Zeref both died, and neither of them got redeemed. So I don't know what you're talking about. Is this just secretly JK Network? Is he this mad? Does he made alts coming after me? Anyway, we're going to jump over to Josuke's stream, go over to his Why So Mid podcast stream, and we're going to go over and, if you guys want to have some fun, we'll go and, if you want to ask him who is going to fight who, maybe throw some, some funny ones in there. Ichiya versus Rill, and you can have, talk about how Ichiya's mainly smells, completely clap that lame painter. But we'll see. I'd prefer good matches. It would be like actually a pretty sweet match. I still think Mira Jane versus Marilyn would be pretty cool. But Mira Jane just has I still don't know if Mira Jane has any of her best Satan Souls anymore since Zerv ate it. What's his YouTube channel? I'll post I'll post a link. We'll go over there. He's gonna start streaming. I meant to stream earlier, but I didn't think he was gonna stream today. I thought he was busy. So here, let me post it on, actually I'll post it on the YouTubes. I don't know, I don't know how I can stream through Streamlabs, but I can't post links through Streamlabs chat. Stupid. Haven't got a notification. Yeah, it's been pretty ass. Where's the stream? It's over my channel. I posted it. So, right now, my plan is... So I've got, I think real quick before we switch, I think the next 100 Years Quest chapter, we should be able to have a long, uninterrupted stream. I'm really hoping so, especially because I'm really hoping this is going to be a Gajeel turnaround chapter, and then he wins in the following chapter. But, we should be able to have a long stream then, without me getting, like, interrupted and having to go do something else. And then... But before that, though, sometime next week, we'll have another long stream. Because at some point... Let me look at real quick. What are my channel numbers right now? I still need the 350 before I hit 5K. Because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do eventually when I hit 5K. Something cool. Because at some point, I want to do streams on certain levels in the verse. Because I want to do stuff going over the general tiers. Because I think a lot of people don't know, like, where a lot of the general tiers sit. So I've seen people talking about, like, how does Gajeel lose to a Spriggan level character, but it's like, Gajeel is Spriggan level. And then I'm looking at, like, the fact that Gajeel isn't just getting, like, jumped on and crushed. It's the fact that God Serena is playing smart. He's waiting for Gajeel to do something, using what counters in that scenario, and then hits his opponent, waits for him to do something else. That's pretty smart. Anyway, yeah, we'll go over to Josuke's. I posted the link in the chat, so just click over there. He should be able to stream in a few minutes, so just refresh to that point. And then just we'll raid there for a few minutes, and if you want to ask him who wins between I don't know, Laxus with only his legs and against Fuego Leon, who is triple. Actually, no, he's got the whole Mirror Brigade. He's going all in at just legs Laxus. That can be the fight. Actually, that wouldn't be that. That kind of funny, actually. Here speaking, well, what should Aizen's Bankai be? I think it'd be cool if Aizen could do kind of like essentially like a mind invasion, where instead of it being as crazy broken, it would just be something super dangerous one on one. It's like a crazier level of mind ability. So he can probe your thoughts and just get into your head and maybe like even mess with your memories. Not like how Sugashima can like insert himself in the past, but it's more of just like he literally just messes with your mind so you think something else happened. I think that'd be cool. Because like I like the idea that it's not just because his Shikai's already so broken. I don't think it needs to be like, oh, it becomes the point his illusions, he starts creating them and then they become real. He creates reality into existence. Like, no, I think it'd be cooler for him as a villain to get some other really OP villain that's pretty much like stepped off from where his power already was. So he kind of has two broken powers at the same time, both that are different, both based off of kind of like a way to mess with your mind and your senses. He gets clapped by the screens. I mean, some of them have a shot on him, but it's like I don't think Gajeel's gonna be able to beat Heisen. But anyway, other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. I got something caught in my throat. I'm trying to power through it right through the end. We'll have a proper long stream. I try not to conflict with other people's stream times, but I definitely got caught on this one.